Hey everybody, welcome back to our Lent devotionals. Today's passage is going to come from Matthew chapter 26, verses 69 to 75. Now Peter was sitting out in the courtyard, and a servant girl came to him. "You also were with Jesus of Galilee," she said. But he denied it before them all. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said. Then he went out to the gateway, where another servant girl saw him and said to the other people out there, "This fellow was with Jesus of Nazareth." He denied it again with an oath. "I don't know the man." And after a little while, those there went up to Peter and said, "Surely you're one of them. Your accent gives you away." Then he began to call down curses, and he swore to them, "I don't know the man." Immediately a cock crowed. Then Peter remembered the word that Jesus had spoken. "Before the cock crows, you will disown me 3 times. And he went outside and wept bitterly. Earlier in Matthew, when you read that Jesus predicts to Peter that he's going to disown him, I used to read that and think, Peter, you have the cheat codes, man. You know what bad things are going to happen. You know the way that this is going to go. How do you mess it up? And I had this complex for a really years of my life where I was like, oh, well, if I'd been there, I wouldn't have done what Peter did. I would have been better. And I had that in my head right up until high school, where I was a fan of a band. And I found out that it wasn't very popular. It wasn't the cool thing to like this band. So I denied it. But I would still listen to them on my little iPod Nano. I would listen to them. And one day in PE, someone in my class saw that while I was doing the runs around the hall, that I was listening to this band's album. And he comes to me and he says, "Josh, are you listening to that band?" I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." And then later on in the day, him and another friend came up to me in the corridor and went, "Surely you're listening to the band. We saw it on your iPad." And I swore with an oath, "I don't know what you're talking about." And then as I was going into a class, when the last bell had rang, we walked in and they came up to me and said, "Surely you're listening to it. The album cover on your iPad Nano gives you away." And I said, "I swear to you, I don't know this band." When the bell rang, I realised that I denied this band 3 times. Now, the band is fairly inconsequential. The band, in the grand scheme of these things, doesn't particularly matter. But if I was willing to turn around for the sake of not looking like the idiot that listens to the band that isn't popular in my class, if I was willing to deny them, how much easier is it to turn around and fall into the kind of mistake where when a friend of ours or someone we look up to is in a position like Jesus is in, where they're at risk? How much easier is it to deny them? The challenge I always find with this passage isn't necessarily the traditional challenge that we hear from this passage, where it's, we need to make sure that we don't deny Jesus. And don't get me wrong, I think that's a really, really important thing, and I think we should always be acknowledging the love that we have for Jesus and acknowledging the faith that we put in him. But I often think about it as well from, how do we treat those around us? Who is it that we quite like that we might deny? Who is it that maybe needs us to be there that we're looking away from and pretending we don't know? I often wonder how many people that we are being Peters to. I often wonder how many people I've been a Peter to, where someone could have really, really used my friendship, but at the moment that they could have used me the most, I've went, "No, I don't know you," and hidden away because it might not have been the popular option. So that's my challenge from today's devotional. Who are we looking towards? And who are we denying that we know? Who is it that we see as the people above and look up to? And who is the people that we need to make sure that we're acknowledging?